Nin. Yeah. Vinesi ko indigenicas makwando dam. My name is Winona LaDuke. I'm the executive director of Honor the Earth. I'm here with my grandchildren and my colleagues, both Michael Dahl and Shane Davis. We rode 200 miles. We started at Rice Lake over by East Lake, Mille Lacs territory in 1837, where our beautiful people are preparing to rice now. It's a beautiful ricing lake, and we saw and prayed with the rice there, and then we decided that we should ride on horseback along the proposed Sandpiper route. We traveled through a lot of really beautiful lakes. We saw a lot of beautiful medicines. We met a lot of beautiful people, many of whom did not know anything about the proposed pipeline. And then we came here because, in my experience, sometimes corporations make decisions and they don't know the faces of the people that they will affect. And so I wanted Enbridge to see my face. I wanted Enbridge to see my face after yesterday when we spent the evening in the Rice Lake community on our own reservation, the mother lode of wild rice in our territory. I'm really thankful for y'all coming out, and we just want to say a few things. Our water is worth more than their oil, and we know what it is worth. We are the people that have lived in this territory for 8,000 years, and this is a 60-year-old corporation without a good track record. We know that there are a lot of other people up here that are equally concerned. They may be people who moved here more recently, in the past decades or in the past century, but the people of Minnesota value their water more than they value Enbridge's oil. That's the reality. We have something here that nobody else has. We have a fifth of the world's water, and you can still drink the water from up here. I brought a couple of special displays here. This is from the Kalamazoo spill. It was collected last year. This is, I think, some dilbit, and I'm not sure. This is at the bottom of the Kalamazoo River still after spending $1.3 billion. That's what the Kalamazoo River looks like after an Enbridge spill. In that Enbridge spill, they took 17 hours to respond, and it was near an urban area. What I'm very sure about is that Enbridge will not respond quickly to any spills in our territory. The reality is that Enbridge is going to be slow to respond, and that within a minute, 20,000 gallons of oil will move out of any Enbridge pipelines. That's the problem that we face. 20,000 gallons of oil should not at any point be in our water. That is the water we do not want to see, and this is the water that we got collected yesterday. Yesterday we were at the Springs Big Bear Landing at Rice Lake on the Ryder Reservation. This is water that we collected at our spring on our reservation at Big Bear Landing, which is at Rice Lake. And that is the lake that will be the most impacted by our Anishinaabe, that is our Anishinaabe lake in our territory, and that would be impacted by the Enbridge spill. You can drink this water and you cannot drink that water. That is the difference. And what we know is that you can live without oil, but you cannot live without water. And so we're here because we really believe that our rice and our way of life is worth it. It's everything to us as Anishinaabe people, and we're pretty sure it's worth it to everybody else up here. This is Menominake Gizis, the wild rice-making moon. The harvest is starting now. And this year we're going to celebrate our rice harvest and be very grateful that we have rice. And we intend to secure that we have rice for all the generations ahead. I want to introduce our colleague Shane Davis. He's going to talk a little bit more about what's in that pipeline. Like many of you, many people up here did not even know about the pipeline to start with. And then besides not knowing about the pipeline, there's a lot of mystery as to what is in the Bakken oil. And Shane comes from Colorado, where he has experience with fracking and the chemicals that are put in fracked oil. And so I'm going to ask him to make say a little bit about that so people know. Here, Shane, I'll hold this for you.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Again, I'm here joining Honor the Earth and Winona LaDuke in solidarity. I came from Colorado, where we have 54,000 active oil and gas wells. There's 22,000 in the county that I live in. And so when you see this mass invasion of an industry that's federally unregulated, from the Clean Water Act, the Clean Air Act, the Safe Drinking Water Act, all of that fracked oil from North Dakota, the Bakken fields, would be going through those pipelines. The fracked oil has over 700 different man-made chemicals and radioactive materials that are not tested. The industry doesn't have to test for those. And so anything that would be going through that pipeline, as Winona mentioned, Every minute, approximately 20,000 gallons of that crude oil that's radioactive and has all different kinds of chemicals in it would be released into your environment. And we know that Enbridge, who is positioned right behind us, cannot respond to these types of spills until it is far too late and has destroyed your ecosystem and your water. In Colorado, 40% of all operator spills have already resulted in groundwater contamination. And that is data from the Colorado Oil and Gas Conservation Commission. Every other industry in the United States would have been shut down because of that failure rate. It's absolutely impossible for Enbridge or any other operator to have safe operations, especially when they're dealing with fracked oil that doesn't have to abide by the Clean Water Act, the Safe Drinking Water Act, the Resource Conservation Recovery Act, and a bunch of other federal regulations. And so we are here, I came up here to tell you that this oil that would go through any of your pipelines from the Bakken would be extremely dangerous, not only to you, your children, and the future generations, but your air and your water. As I mentioned, 40% of all spills in Colorado have already resulted in groundwater contamination.
Mi chiani go wega kinego manituna gani zitwega shipake jigean. Mi uenege me wensha. Ge wenigo ue gashikinama wa gweshna shaganashi wag. Anishna pi uega shimenopematizik. Anishna ge webak. Ugi wanen tamak. Wenong gum sagoy go we minwa gashimekwenta mawag. Anishna go ue gachiga gizamak. Gachi debwe tago sia me wensha. Mi goy minik. Indigi go ue shinabik. Me goy minik. Me ue and gashaganashi moinige. I'm Gikweki Gabo, or Michael Dahl. I come from the Eagle Clan on the White Earth Reservation. I'm involved with this because 7 generations ago, my grandpa, Hole in the Day, signed a treaty of the 1855 and the 1867, securing this whole area for us to hunt, fish, and gather. It also secured the reservation that I live on, the White Earth Reservation. The things that happened back then is that here's what we thought. We were told, we'll help you take care of this. We as Anishinaabe people had to turn around and renegotiate our treaties with creation, saying we're not going to live here anymore. We're going to live over there, but we'll still come and hunt and fish and gather here. And these Shaganashiwak, we've had enough. You promised us that you would help us take care of this land. You promised us that we could hunt, fish, and gather as long as the water was clean, as long as the air was clean, as long as the animals and the plants were still edible. You lied. You lied to my grandfathers, and you're not going to lie to me. We're done. It's our job as Anishinaabe people. We're the ones to take care of the land. And that's what we're doing. We've had enough. We've had enough. We drew the line in the sand. We told you, you ever cross this line, we're done. We're not going to do it. We're not going to allow it. We've had enough. As Anishinaabe people, we are at war again for our land. And when we say our land, we don't mean ownership of land. We mean that that lake, that rice is part of us. It's just as much our land as it is my arm. Our arms and our legs and our heart, our being. That's what we mean when we say our land. We say our heart. We've had enough. And we're here now to say to Shaganashiwak, to the visitors, remember the promises you made. You promised us. You promised us you would take care of this with us. Why do you lie again? Let's look for a better way. Let's look for a better way that doesn't endanger all of us, Shinabik and Shaganashiwak combined. What doesn't endanger anything that keeps us safe, our water safe, all of it. That's why we do what we do, to take care of this earth, not just for us. For us, our wild rice is a way of living. It's not just a holiday casserole. It's not just a special grandma's recipe. Our recipes for rice go back generations, thousands of years. Our recipes go. They're not a holiday dinner. They're every day of life. And we want to secure our every day of life so the Shaganashiwak, the visitors, can continue to have their holiday dinner. Migo minik indik. That's enough, we say. Enough is enough. Migoch kitininim kikipisham. Misigayet sagoy ko ukishiway naminimige. I thank you all for coming and believe it when we say we love you all of you. We do this for all of you, not just us. Migoy minik, migoch kitigo gibisin dawiyek. Invite everybody to our show.
We're going to have a show in about 2 hours. Is that right, Charlie?
Yeah, starts at 6:30.
Starts at 6:30 at
Senior Patrons.
Senior Patrons.
The old Union Station for the locals.
Oh, the old Union Station for the locals. Thank you.
Yeah.
Come join us and some musicians. And, I just want to say, I want to thank the DNR for saying that they had some questions about this line. I want to thank the Minnesota PCA for that. I wish Hubbard County would find a little courage. We'll keep working on that. Counties have to stand up. They got to stand up for us, not for corporations. And so we're hoping we did see township. What's that township called? Hiram Township over in Cass County did pass a resolution opposing the Enbridge pipeline. So I want to thank them for doing that and encourage other counties to do the right thing for our water and our future generations and for all of us. It's a big corporation, but they are not entitled. They are not entitled to our water or our land or our future. Thank you again so much for coming, and we'll see you at Senior Patrons. Oh, our website, www.honorearth.org. Thank you. But, yeah, be good.
Love water or not oil.